Hello there. I have a book I think you want to hear, so I'm going to read it to you today. It's called Peanut and the Shadow Puppet. You ready for this? All right, here we go. Peanut and the Shadow Puppet. It's part of the Peanut and Pops book series. There's a little girl whose name is Peanut, and there's her Pops. One evening, there was a huge thunderstorm. As Peanut helps Pops clear the table, the lights suddenly go out. Peanut says in a loud whisper, "Pops!" There is a scratching sound followed by a burst of flame. She sees him light 2 candles, and he hands one to her, instructing her to be careful. Carrying the small lights, Peanut and her father make their way up the stairs. "How will we read our story tonight?" Peanut asked, looking at the dimly lit bookshelf. Pops rubs his chin as he thinks. "This would be the perfect time to introduce you to my friend, Daniel the Duck. I'll be right back," Pops says and leaves the room to go downstairs. Peanut watches the orange glow of her reflection in the mirror as she brushes her teeth by the candlelight. Just then, Pops returns. He asks Peanut to carefully carry the candle into her bedroom. There, she sets the candle on the windowsill as she snuggles under the covers. "Daniel," Pops calls quietly. Peanut looks around the room. "Oh, of course, we forgot to blow out the candles," he says. Peanut hops up and with a giant puff blows the flame out. There was a clicking sound, and a beam of light shot from Pop's hand. "There you are," Pop said happily, and on the wall of Peanut's bedroom, she saw the shadow of a little duck. She giggled. "Ah, there's the duck on the wall." "Do you know how your father learned to never be afraid of the dark anymore?" Daniel asked with a quack. Peanut shook her head. "He met me," Daniel cheerfully squawked. Pops explained that when he met Daniel, he knew that he had friends to be with him, even in the dark. Daniel flapped his wings and flew away. Peanut watched the circle of light on her wall with excitement. There was movement as another animal took shape in the dark lines outlined in the light. It was a rabbit. "Why, hello there," the rabbit said with a surprise. "I heard Daniel talking just now, so I thought I would pop up to see who was here. What's your name?" "I'm Peanut," she said. "My name is Philip," the rabbit said, and he hopped about a bit. Pops continued to introduce her to a few more of his shadowy friends. She was getting very sleepy, though. The patter of the rain outside her window was comforting, and she lay down as she listened to her new animal friends continue telling stories of all their adventures they had had together when her father was a boy. Peanut's eyelids were very heavy, and soon she drifted off to sleep. Oh, there she is asleep. The next morning, the electricity had been fixed, and Peanut returned the candle to the kitchen, setting it on the table. "You forgot to clean your room yesterday, Peanut," Pop said as he passed her the cereal box. "All right," she said with a sigh. "I will clean it today," she agreed reluctantly. Peanut liked being able to find her toys whenever she wanted to play with them, so she knew she had to put her toys away, but cleaning her room was not her favorite thing to do. "I'm going to meet your Aunt Gay. She needs some help packing up some boxes before she moves to the beach," Pops explained as he sat in his favorite chair to tie his shoes. "I will only be gone for a little while, but I trust that you can stay here by yourself. You know all the rules and what to do in an emergency, right?" "You betcha," Peanut said proudly, and poured herself another bowl of cereal. "Okay," Pops said, and kissed Peanut on top of the head. "Miss Virginia is next door if you need anything, and don't forget to clean your room," he reminded her as he walked out the door, shutting it behind him. Peanut finished her breakfast and was just about to clear the table when she heard a commotion in the den. She peeked over the couch in the corner of the room. She saw the flashlight that Pops had used to introduce her to Daniel and his other shadow friends. It was on, so she went over to pick it up, when she noticed that two little ears were sticking out from behind the couch. It was Philip. "Hi, Peanut," Philip said. "Hi, Philip," Peanut said, and picked up the flashlight. "Hey, let's play in the garden. I wanted to taste some of the lovely cabbage," he said, and his long ears twitched with delight. Well, I don't know if Pops would like that very much. We always work in the garden together and," she began to explain. "Oh, he won't mind, I am sure. I'll only take a little nibble," Philip promised. "Well, okay, but then I have to clean my room," Peanut said, and she slipped on her boots and headed outside with her shadow friend close behind. Philip was right. Playing in the garden was lots of fun. Next, they made a blanket fort in the playroom, built a Lego castle, and tucked Peanut's favorite astronaut action figure in for his nap. Suddenly, Peanut remembered that they had not tidied up the garden. She insisted that they head back downstairs and begin cleaning before Pops came home. Philip, who said that he needed to try a couple of carrots, hopped along in front of her. As Peanut leaned over to refill a spilled pot with dirt, Pops opened the side door and stepped out onto the porch. Oh, look at the mess. "What happened?" he said in an angry voice. Peanut tried to explain that it was all Philip's idea, but Pops didn't want to hear any excuses. Peanut began cleaning up, but Philip was nowhere to be found. After the house and garden were cleaned and organized, Pops took Peanut on his lap and asked her what happened today. Peanut explains all about how Philip showed up. Pops listens thoughtfully and then asks Peanut if she could explain the rules to Philip next time. She agrees and says that it is much harder work and no fun when you don't follow the rules. When Pops goes to the kitchen, Philip pops out and apologizes for getting her into trouble. Finally, her room, the kitchen, and the garden are all put back in order. Peanut sits down with her friend and explains the rules of the house. Philip agrees that they will follow them next time. The two friends turn out the light, hide under a blanket, and Philip introduces Peanut to more of his shadow puppet friends. And look, we have a shadow puppet cookie recipe. I'll read it to you very quickly. You need 2 cups of sugar, 4 tablespoons cocoa powder, half cup of butter, half cup of milk, a cup of peanut butter, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 3 cups of quick cooking grits. You just take them in a medium saucepan with the sugar, milk, butter, and cocoa, bring it to a boil and cook it for about a minute to a minute and a half. Remove it from the heat and stir in the peanut butter, the oats, and the vanilla. You let it stand for about 10 minutes, stirring it occasionally to let the oatmeal absorb some of the liquid, and then you drop it by teaspoonfuls onto wax paper and let it cool to set for at least 1 hour. After that, you just store them in an airtight container at room temperature. And there you go. Peanut and the Shadow Puppet. I hope you enjoyed it.